What's up, my Red Pill brothers? Jay Lee here with another Northwest podcast for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about the cleanup guy. Dun 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 dun. The cleanup guy. This guy is basically the beta provider. Alpha fucks, beta bucks. The cleanup guy is the guy that she chooses at the end of her carousel ride when she's done fucking all the alpha guys, when she's done fucking all the bad boys. Now, I got a couple pictures here for you guys. I really appreciate both these guys here. This guy here, his name is Fella in Versace. Fella in Versace. I think this is I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is Twitter. So you can go follow this guy. This guy drops gems on the daily, at least regularly. I don't know about daily, but this guy drops gems. Now he must have been really through a lot of shit to get the expertise, the knowledge, and the wisdom that he has about women. I would say the worse you've been treated by women, the more knowledgeable you're going to be about them. His name is Shadaye Knight, at Shadaye Knight, SHADAYAKNIGHT. That's Fella in Versace, at Shadaye Knight on Twitter. So he's talking about the cleanup guy. And he says, she'll fuck 100 fuck boys and expect you to be the cleanup guy. They never loved me. They only wanted sex. But you must prove yourself the way those guys never had to. She'll tell you how those guys that got a piece of her did nothing for it, but you must work hard for what's left. So basically he's saying, if you're not a bad boy, and if you're not a bad boy, you know, there's going to come a time when she doesn't want bad boys anymore. There's going to come that time. Now, that isn't to say she's still not going to sleep with bad boys. She might. But there's going to come a time where either A, she doesn't want bad boys anymore, and it's probably because, you know, her biological clock is ticking. She wants a kid. She wants to get her life started. She's tired of getting fucked by every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you know, that you know, is a bad boy. And I wouldn't say that they expire, so to speak. They don't, you know, this wanting to fuck bad boys doesn't die per se in women. It's just there comes a time when they need to turn the chapter and they need to go on to the next thing. And I've met a lot of women who fucked me because I was a bad boy, but they also wanted to settle down with me. So what that tells me is that I met a lot of women who were kind of on their way out. So, and I've talked about this before, but I personally don't think my SMV, sexual market value, is incredibly high. But I've been able to portray myself as a bad boy before. I've been able to, you know, I have a little bit of game. I've had some sex. Okay, I'm not going to talk about my, you know, the number that I've had, but you know, I've been out there and I know what's out there. So, and I know my relative sexual market value is not incredibly high. So what it tells me is that I was bad boy enough to fuck, but they also kind of wanted to settle down. So, which tells me that I was catching them on their way down, right? And every woman is different. Some women have incredibly high sexual market value until they're 40, until they're 45. Some women are MILFs and cougars until they're 50, and they never hit that stage where, oh, I'm done riding the cock carousel. They never hit it because their sexual market value is so high. And even after they have kids, a lot of these women are still out here fucking around, right? But not every woman is like that. Not every woman is blessed with good genes. Not every woman is smart enough to hit the gym. So a lot of these women are actually, you know, they are, you know, jumping off the cock carousel and they're ready to settle down. So in walks the cleanup guy. The cleanup guy is not a fuck boy. The cleanup guy is probably 9 times out of 10 not going to be an alpha. He's going to be a yes man. He's going to be an amiable. He might be a beta, he might not, but he's going to be an amiable, docile provider. He's going to be a steady guy. This is what they want. They want that security. If they don't want excitement, they want security. And if they can't get both, they're going to go for the security. They're not going to go for the excitable guy because they want somebody that they can settle down with. They want somebody that they can, you know, hug at night and rest their head. I mean, women are, you know, human too. They want love too. but their prerogatives are different. They also want security. And what is security? Security is finances. Security is resources. So the cleanup guy has to have resources. 9 times out of 10. It doesn't mean, that, she won't settle with a guy who maybe makes a little less money than her. I'm not saying that necessarily. 9 times out of 10, probably not. But sometimes they will settle with a guy who might not make. It's all about the deal with a woman. Again, I say this a million times in every video. It's not about love. It's about what they can get for what they're worth. It's not about love. It's about what they can get for what they're worth. If it were about love, it would be a whole different story. Women know that men want them. Women know that men chase them. Women know that men work to get money in order to acquire them. Women have successfully positioned themselves as commodities. They have successfully positioned themselves as products. And what is the product? Her intimacy. You can say, quote unquote, her love, but it's really not love. It's just really her intimacy, her support, her encouragement, all those little things, like the Bible says, woman is a helpmeet, right? She's a helpmeet, right? HELPMEET, helpmeet, meaning she helps the man go throughout life. And this is what they're supposed to be. And women will play that role, but there has to be something there for her. She won't play that role for any Tom, Dick, and Harry. She's not going to play that role for fuckboys who don't make much money. They work at the gas station. They can't even afford a 1-bedroom apartment. She's not going to play that role for that guy. She'll play the role for the guy with the house. She'll play that role for the guy with the mortgage. She'll play that role for the guy who's got the truck or the car or whatever, and he's able to give her kids. He's able to take care of her financially. She will play that supporting role. She'll be your ride or die, quote unquote. But she's really not a ride or die. That's just something they say. But in reality, if you don't make that money, she gone. She's going to leave you. So she's not really a ride or die. So this is the cleanup guy. The cleanup guy, again, has to be docile. He has to be amiable. He has to be settled. She's not looking for a guy who's out running around at the bars. She's not looking for a guy who, is still carousing around. It doesn't mean she won't be attracted to that kind of guy. It doesn't mean that she won't sleep with that kind of guy. But ultimately, she's really not looking for that. And if your sexual market value is high enough, sure, she'll fuck you Saturday night. But she's looking for that secure bag. She's looking to secure the bag. She's looking for that docile, amiable cleanup guy, right? And she's going to make the guy prove himself. She's going to put him through the ringer, and he's going to have to qualify himself to her. He's going to have to suck up to her, worship the ground she walks on, and then she'll give him the time of day. But just like this meme says, or a quote says, she didn't make those other guys work for it. She didn't make the bad boy work for it. She just got on her knees and started sucking. And like I said, I've been that guy before. And I know how easy it is to get fucked on the first date, on the first time you hang out. None of these sluts, none of these hoes made me wait. Okay, she's making you wait. You gotta earn me. Ooh. She's playing you, son. She's playing you. If she's not fucking you on the first date, she's playing you. She ain't no good. She ain't no, I'm not that kind of girl. For you, she's not that kind of girl. Okay, for bad boy Clyde over there, she'll be on her knees in a second. You see, so it's just that you're not that kind of guy. It's not that she's not that kind of girl. It's that you're not that kind of guy. See, you gotta learn a little bit of womanese. You gotta learn how these women speak, and then you gotta understand female nature. You gotta understand female logic or female motives and female motivations. Some people say biological imperative. Bullshit. That's them just playing games, just pulling the wool over your eyes, pretending like there's something that they're not. Which leads me to this guy. This is my buddy, Black Chauvinist, which is obviously a joke. He's not really a chauvinist. Probably women will call him a chauvinist. Now this guy, I think this is again Twitter, so at Black Chauvinist, you can see it up there, BLK_chauvinist. Let's look at this picture. So this picture says girls logic. So he posts this picture and then he comments on it. So girls logic, girl, hi, I'm looking for a nice guy who will treat me right and I can love and stuff. Yeah. The guy says, oh, hey, I'm a nice guy. I treat women with respect, and I don't cheat or act like a bastard to women. And the girl says, meh, I'll pass and go ahead and date the douchiest guy who will treat me like utter shit and make me cry. This is female logic. Why? Because she wants the bad boy. Why? Because the bad boy is exciting. The bad boy is a dude. He's an asshole, and assholes are exciting to women. Women want the asshole because the asshole is selfish. They translate that as strength because women aren't very smart. They don't know any better. This is why they end up getting pregnant. This is why there's so many single moms out there, because women aren't smart and we don't raise them right. Okay, now it doesn't mean the nice guy necessarily should get the girl necessarily either. Okay, but at the end of the day, what really is a nice guy? A nice guy is a guy who actually has good intentions for her. That's my definition of a nice guy. Now, women today will complain and say, well, nice guys aren't really nice, they're just being nice because they're fake. No, it's not that the guy is being nice to her, treating her nice. It's just that he's real. He's not running game. When a guy doesn't run game on a girl, he's boring. Guys who don't have game are boring, but guess what? Guys who do have game, they're users, they're cheaters. The reason why they're cheaters and users is because they do have game. They do know how to run game, and women just don't understand that kind of logic. They don't understand that kind of basic shit. The reason why nice guys are boring is because they're real. They're not phony. They're not pretending to be, oops, what the fuck happened there? They're not pretending to be this, that, and the third. Hold on a second. Fucking hell, sorry about that. They're not pretending to be something that they're not. Right? They're not pretending to be something that they're not. The nice guy is just who he is, and a lot of times, guys are just boring. Okay, we're not that exciting. Oh well. But guess what? Guess what the good news about nice guys is? The good news about nice guys is they got good hearts, right? They got good hearts, but see, women don't want the nice guy. So they save the nice guy for the last. So the nice guys now really are being shorted, because guess what? Nice guys deserve a quality girl. Because good guys who have good intentions, they want a good girl, but they're designated to wait until the end and be the cleanup guy. So nice guys often become cleanup guys because that's our only option. Either that or we go red pill or MGTOW or some variation therein. Because these women are all out sleeping around now. We can't find a virgin, or maybe not even a virgin. We can't find a woman with under 4 sexual partners by the time she's 25. We can't do that anymore. Right? And so we are designated the cleanup guy automatically, naturally. This is the society that we live in. The society that we live in creates cleanup guys. So Black Chauvinist says, isn't it funny how some single mothers desire, quote unquote, positive role models for their juvenile sons? The same type of positive role models they curbed and chose not to procreate in the first place with. See, this is female nature. They want the bad boy to have kids, and then they want the nice guy, the positive role models, to come in and clean up their mess. And a lot of these women are getting it. A lot of them are getting it because there's a lot of these beta boys out there who don't have any self-esteem, who can't tell a woman no, and they get sucked in by the pussy. Oh gosh, I've never had this great a pussy before. Women have always been putting me down my whole life because I'm too nice and I'm not exciting, this, that, and the third. Now here comes this woman who wants to give me all this pussy. And, oh, she's got nice tits. Oh, she's sexy. Wow, this is amazing. Oh, she makes me feel good. She knows how to make me feel. Of course she knows how to make you feel good because she's running game on you. She's trying to catch you, so she knows how to make you feel good. She knows how to make you feel like a real man, right? She knows how to encourage you and oh baby, yeah, or whatever the bullshit, whatever bullshit she says to get what she wants from you. What does she want from you? She wants stability. She wants security. She wants your resources so she can raise her kid. This is why you stay the fuck away from single moms. This is why single moms are poisoned. They're the devil, because this is what they want. They don't want love. They want a positive role model for their sons. Well, guess what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to be with the dad. The dad is supposed to be the positive role model, and you're supposed to love the dad. But we don't have that kind of society anymore. We don't live in that kind of society anymore. We live in a degenerate, immoral society that uplifts promiscuity, that tells women they can do no wrong, that has removed checks and balances from society, particularly through second wave and third wave feminism, which has demonized male leadership, which has demonized normality, and has normalized abnormality, normalized degeneracy. And this is how you ruin a society systematically, step by step, is you take away accountability, you take away the family unit, you slowly corrode morals, and to the point where the citizens even question if there is such a thing as morals. I can't tell you how many times I hear people say, morality is subjective. Is it really? Well, where do you draw the line? What about pedophilia? What about murder? What about genocide? What about all these things that we could say, well, morality is subjective, meaning, oh, okay, well, to him it wasn't immoral to kill those people, so he's not guilty, right? You see, this is the subtlety of an immoral, degenerate society. And this is what second wave feminism has done for our young women. It said, hey, you can have your cake and eat it too, girlfriend. You can go out and sleep around and still find the great guy who's going to be a positive role model for your kid. You can go out and sleep with 100 guys and still find the love of your life. It's all fine and dandy. Well, guess what? These women aren't really finding the love of their life. They're just finding the best guy that they could get for what they're selling. And guess what they're selling? Pussy. Guess what they're selling? Intimacy. Guess what they're selling? Sex. And these guys are so hard up because they've been the nice guy their whole life, and girls don't want the nice guy. So finally, now that they've got the good job and all the things, they say, I've worked hard for this, now I deserve the girl. And they think they're winning. But in reality, they're just the cleanup guy. They're just the guy at the end of her carousel ride that she hops off onto and falls into his arms, falls into his life, and now I'm going to suck your dick for 30 years, or now I'm going to do whatever it takes, and probably at some point that sex is gonna dry up. Probably at some point, and who knows how cucked she really has him. Cucked in the sense of, he's psychologically subservient to her, and this is this is really what I see with a lot of young women, or a lot of women, is particularly in a lot of these marriages, these sexless, almost loveless, dry, lifeless marriages, is the woman is really running the show. She's really low-key running the show. She wants to be in control, and this is what women want. They want control, and it's just like, why? Why do you need control? Now, you could argue, women will say, well, why does the man need control? And to that, I would say, fine, maybe both of you don't need to be in control. How about you just love each other? How about you just support each other? And then women will say, well, this is what I'm doing, da-da-da. But if you actually pay attention to their actual relationship, they're really low-key running the show. They really wear the pants because, when you get into a relationship with a guy just for his resources, and when he chooses you just for the sex you give him, and then you say, oh, I love you, I don't really think you love him. Because if he really loved you, you would have found each other when you were 21, 22, but instead you were busy for the last 8, 9, 10 years riding the cock carousel. Then you had a baby, and then you chose a guy for his money. You chose a guy because he was the most eligible bachelor, which is all this bullshit that they have on TV, all these bachelor shows. The most eligible bachelor, he's a doctor, he's a surgeon. It's like, you're marrying a man, you're not marrying a bank account, right? But these shows, this is what they teach these young women. Oh, he's a good catch. You're such a good catch. Why? Because he has a mortgage, and he has a job, and he's got a house, and he can help me raise my kids. So that's what you're looking for. You're just looking for a surrogate daddy. That's all. You're just looking for a surrogate daddy. Don't lie and say, I found the love of my life. No, you found the guy that you liked the most, who could be a replacement for the man that you were supposed to have in your life. And you got lucky. You lucked up, and you got with a guy who's the cleanup guy. That's all that is. That's all that is. So don't say it's love. Don't say, I found, right? So this is girl logic. That's what the cleanup guy is. Don't be the cleanup guy, guys. Don't settle for no single moms. Don't do it. Okay, even if you got to be single, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. I'm reserved to the fact that I might be single for the rest of my life. I'm okay with that because I have standards, and I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to, and I'll tell you a story. I had a girl in my life who fits this to the T. You know, she sucked and fucked me better than anyone I've ever had, and I fell in love with her. I fell in love with, I don't know what I fell in love with. Maybe I fell in love with all the sex. Maybe I fell in love with her personality. I don't know. It's all convoluted, you know, and it went bad. And she was all these things to a T, and she found her cleanup guy, and she says, oh, I love him, and he loves me, da 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 da. But then she cheated on him. She cheated on him for 5 months with me because I loved her and I wanted her back. And she came back and she cheated on him for 5 months. And then she said, you know what? I just don't think you can support me financially. I just don't think that it's going to work out between us financially. That's what she said. Those were her words. And it hurt me deeply. And so I told the guy, I said, hey man, you know, she's cheating on you. And I showed him screenshots. I showed him texts. He didn't even respond to me. And then he said, how'd you get my number? You know, da, da, da. And like, you know, how do you even know who I am and all this stuff? It's like, yeah, man, I looked you up on Facebook, and I found your number through a website, and I just wanted to text you and let you know your girlfriend's been cheating on you. She lied to us both. She lied to me and she lied to you. And I told him in detail all that happened, and he just said, don't ever call me again. Don't, you know, lose my number. Don't ever text me. You know, and now they're engaged to be married. That's my that's my ex. That's my story, man. And is that guy a winner? Is he an alpha? She's got a kid, you know, and maybe I dodged a bullet, you know, but I love her, and maybe I'm somewhat of a sucker for falling in love with this girl in the first place and letting her use me and using him and all these things, right? But you know, when you spend time with somebody, you tend to love them, and maybe that's what it is with him. He loves her, or he thinks he does, but yet he's getting used, you know. So really, at the end of the day, he won her, right? But what did he really win? If he didn't have money, she probably wouldn't choose him, right? And I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg as far as my story with her. There's a lot more to that. Like she's got all kinds of skeletons in her closet. She's got all kinds of issues that I didn't even, you know, it would take me 2 hours to delve into and talk about all that shit. But needless to say, she's a cheater. She's a liar. Right, and I still love her. I still love her to this day, and I would be totally dishonest if I said I didn't want her back, and I admit that makes me weak. You know, given everything that I've spoken about today and all the other days, that makes me weak. It goes against everything I've said, but that just goes to show how strong, you know, these women have. This goes to show how strong that a man's love can be. He'll get cheated on and forgive her. He'll get cheated on for 5 months and still want to marry her, you know. And it's crazy. I think about it every day. Like how do I still love this girl? Like how could, you know, she was so shitty to me and yet I still love her. And then you know, at other times I'm thinking like, yeah, man, she's a piece of shit. You know, you don't really, you know. You dodged a bullet. Like, you probably shouldn't be with that girl, right? Like, but then, you know, then I catch myself at other times missing her, loving her, and it's just like, bro, these women have us over a barrel, you know? It's like, and they know this. The women know this. They know they have this power. They know that they have this power over men. And it's a strong thing, bro. It's a strong thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that, you know, that gene in us that wants to procreate, or maybe it's our libido. I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing: it ain't love, right? Because love is loyalty. Love doesn't treat people like that, you know. And this girl doesn't love me, and I don't think she loves him. She may say she loves him, but you know, at the very least, she breached their love, right? At the very least, she breached their love, and for him to take her back and forgive her, I don't know, man. You know, maybe I don't know if I would have done the same thing if she cheated on me. Like, I mean, she did cheat on me, right? So I guess I am doing the same thing, right? And it's a crazy thing. Like, I just admit that, like, I'm probably weak for this, you know, but I do love her and I do want her back. But, you know, at the same time, you know, objectively, if I'm not being subjective, she's probably not good. Like, she's probably not a quality woman. You know what I mean? Like, she's not. I just have to admit that. Like I love a woman who's not a quality woman, right? And to tell you the truth, it's almost like I would have to say, like, I probably am lucky that I'm not with her, you know, because she probably would try to run the relationship. And, you know, why would I want to be with somebody who's a gold digger, you know, or why would I, I'm lucky to be with somebody who's not a gold digger. And I got to tell myself that, because when you love somebody, you love them despite all their faults. So, and I may never stop loving her, but objectively speaking, I have to tell myself, hey man, you probably dodged a bullet. She's probably not a good quality person, So with that said, I'm going to end this, but that's just my little experience of a cleanup guy. So the guy she's engaged to now, he's a cleanup guy, right? These cleanup guys, they're cucks. And like, maybe I dodged a bullet. Like, maybe I don't want to be the cleanup guy, but actually I was the alpha guy that was fucking her before this guy came along. And she really loved me back in her hoe days. She wanted, and she was in her hoe days because she was hoeing with me. She sucked my dick the first time she ever met me on a trail, on a hike. We went on a hike and she sucked my dick on the trail. So, and she was sucking and fucking me for like 3 years straight after that. And it was the best sex I ever had. And I miss it like a motherfucker. And I miss her like a motherfucker. But at the end of the day, that was her hoe phase. And then when she got out of her hoe phase and she's like, damn, I want somebody to love me. It's time for me to settle down. And she said those exact words to me. She's like, I want to settle down. I want somebody to love me. But what she really wanted was a beta provider. What she really wanted was a docile man, a surrogate daddy, positive role model for her kid to help raise her kid. And I wasn't that. I didn't make the right type of money, and she admitted this to me. So, objectively, I have to look at it and say, that's a fucked up woman. That woman doesn't really love me. But, subjectively, I'm like, damn, I love her and I want her back. But objectively, I got to be like, nah, fuck that. She's a she's a slut. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. All these things, and she don't give a fuck. All she wants is this guy, because he's the beta provider, because he's the docile, positive role model who's going to help raise her kid, and he's got the money. So that's all she wants. She doesn't care how much she hurt me. She doesn't care about the relationship that we had in the past. All she wants is this new guy to help raise her kid, and who knows what it'll turn out to be. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, there's not going to be any love in the marriage. There's not going to be any sex. Maybe they'll be happy. I don't know, man. Life has a way of throwing you curveballs like that. Life has a way of saying, oh, you thought she wasn't going to be happy. Guess what? She's happy as fuck. She's happy as a clam. They had more kids. They got married. They lived happily ever after. And, you didn't. And that's just life, man. That's the kind of shit that makes me question if there's a God. That's the kind of shit that makes me question if, anything is real. Like, I question that shit, man. I really do. I question a lot. I question if karma's real. I question it, because it's like so many people have fucked me over and they've just had great lives. It seems like I don't know where they're all at now, necessarily. But anyway, man, word to the wise, wisdom. Don't be that cleanup guy. Because would you want to get cheated on? How many guys would take her back after they got cheated on? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Because cheating to me is a breach of trust. But then again, I love this girl on the one hand, but on the other hand, I spent 3 years with her, right? I spent 3 years with her. And it was intimate and it was deep and it was like, some people might say, 3 years is nothing. I spent 10 years with my one, whatever. But, when you get intimate with someone and you get knitted in your soul with someone, your soul gets knitted with someone else's soul and your heart gets knitted with someone else's heart, then, that's hard to let go. It's hard to get over that, man. Even with time, I think it's been almost 4 years since we first broke up. She came back last year for those 5 months while she was living with the guy she's engaged to now. I'm still not over her. Bro, it's rough. It's rough. But anyway, I would just say don't be that cleanup guy if you can help it. I appreciate Fella in Versace and Black Chauvinist on Twitter. Check those guys out. Go follow them. These guys are killing it, man. These guys are killing the game as far as, posting red pill content, man. Check these guys out. Fella in Versace and Black Chauvinist on Twitter. Appreciate you guys listening. It's been Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.